Every night is girls' night.
Every night. Forever.
Every night.
Forever and ever. Good night.
Welcome to Manosphere Highlights Daily. In the world of storytelling, we often encounter the hero's journey, a narrative archetype famously described by Joseph Campbell. It's a tale of transformation, a quest for self-discovery, and a voyage into the unknown.
What do Harry Potter, Katniss Everdeen, and Frodo all have in common with the heroes of ancient myths? What if I told you they are all variants of the same hero? Do you believe that? Joseph Campbell did. He studied myths from all over the world and published a book called The Hero with a Thousand Faces.
But what if I told you that a male-led hero's journey could also be found in a seemingly unlikely place? The Barbie movie. In part 1, we went into the feminist propaganda of the Barbie movie and how the movie lacks a distinct plot and a clear message. In this video, we dive into the character Ken, who embarks on a hero's journey of his own and unintentionally is written to be the real hero of the Barbie movie. He transitions from being a mere decoration in Barbie Land to becoming a catalyst for change. Let's delve into Ken's transformation and the challenges he faces on his hero's journey in the intriguing but hypocritical world of Barbie Land. Disclaimer: this video contains copyrighted footage, so we will be freezing it frequently to prevent copyright infringement. A special salute to our Patreon supporters. The original video will be available on Patreon. If you enjoy our content and want the full experience, consider supporting us on Patreon. Spoiler alert! This video contains spoilers, so you've been warned. Now it's time for us to get into this and do what we gotta do. Because we men, ain't we? We men, ain't we?
Barbie has a great day every day, but Ken only has a great day if Barbie looks at him.
Every hero's journey begins with an ordinary world, a place that seems perfect, idyllic, and unchanging. In the enchanted realm called Barbie Land, Ken's story unfolds. Here in the heart of Barbie Land, Ken's role is clear. He's not just decorative, he's a living ornament, always focused on impressing Barbie. His life revolves around her fleeting glances, and he's not the only one. Like him, the Kens exist as charming decor.
Shredding waves is much more dangerous than people realize.
You're very brave, Ken.
Thank you, Barbie.
Yeah,
You know surfer's not even my job.
I know.
And it is not lifeguard, which is a common misconception.
Very common.
Yeah, because actually my job, it's just beach.
Right.
And what a good job you do at beach. You should heal up in no time. Actually, in the time that it took for me to say that sentence, you healed.
So does each Barbie like have their own house? Mm-hmm. That's cool. Where do the Kens stay?
I don't know.
Don't tell him, but I never got a Ken.
That's because Ken is totally superfluous. I didn't say that. Women hold all major positions of power, control all the money. Basically everything that men do in your world, women do in ours.
I mean, that sounds kind of cool.
The power dynamic in Barbie Land is obvious. The Kens are superfluous. This was never the case for women in the real world because they bear children. This is the biological aspect feminism doesn't take into account when they claim men were oppressing them since the beginning of time. It's a profound statement to make. In the perfect utopia Barbie Land, the Kens find themselves in a predicament. They don't even have a home of their own. But what makes this already dire situation even more dire is the next scene, which paints a rather disheartening picture of Ken's fate for the rest of his life.
Wow.
You can go now.
I thought I might stay over tonight.
Why?
Because we're girlfriend-boyfriend.
To do what? Oh, but I don't want you here. And this is my dream house. It's Barbie's dream house. It's not Ken's dream house, right?
Right, as always.
And it's girls' night.
Come on, Barbie, summer party.
Every night is girls' night.
Every night. Forever.
Every night.
Forever and ever.
This crucial moment in the story shows Ken's unwavering affection for Barbie, a love he believes would be reciprocated with the warmth of her embrace. Barbie's actions in this scene, however, cast a shadow of eternal rejection over Ken's romantic aspirations. She not only refuses to kiss him or spend time with him in her home, but also reveals her plans for what seems like an eternity of girls' night.
Good night.
Good night.
A nightly tradition that leaves Ken forever on the outside. This devastating rejection, the refusal of a kiss, the locked doors of Barbie's home, and the eternal decree of girls' night are not just isolated events in Barbie Land. They become the symbols of Ken's future, or rather lack thereof. It's a fate that leaves Ken with no home, no romantic prospects, and a forever unfulfilled heart.
What are you doing here?
I'm coming with you.
Please get out.
I can't. I made a double bet with Ken, and you can't make me look uncool in front of Ken.
Ken's not cool.
He is to me.
You're just gonna slow me down.
Barbie, what if there's beach? You'll need someone who's a professional in that.
According to the hero's journey, the call to adventure is a crucial stage in a character's journey. In Ken's case, his call to adventure becomes intertwined with Barbie's call to adventure. As the opening statement suggests, Barbie enjoys wonderful days regularly, while Ken's happiness is directly linked to her acknowledgement and attention. This connection leads Ken to embark on his own adventure, following Barbie on her journey. Little does he know that this decision will lead to a profound awakening, one that will forever change his perspective on life in Barbie Land.
Yes.
The awakening of Ken, in my opinion, is the most compelling aspect of the movie. Ken gets a dose of the red pill and undergoes a profound transformation when he experiences the real world. He discovers that it's a world predominantly shaped by men. And to understand this, he embarks on a journey to educate himself at the library. In the hero's journey, this resonates with the meeting the mentor stage, assistance.
2 o'clock. Assistance. The hero needs some help. Probably from someone older, wiser. 3 o'clock.
During his library visit, Ken searches for books that explain the historical and societal reasons behind male dominance. While the specific titles in the movie may not exist, they are reflective of real-world literature that explores similar themes. For instance, there are books like Why Men Rule, A Theory of Male Dominance, and The Creation of Patriarchy, which delve into the roots of male dominance throughout history. These works draw from scientific, historical, and sociological data to shed light on the origins of the prevailing power structures. Where the Barbie movie and FEMINISM take an L is in its initial premise. It seemingly portrays a binary and hypocritical picture. The premise suggests that women in power equate to goodness, benevolence, and peace, while men in power lead to violence, war, and the subjugation of women. This simplistic portrayal overlooks the complexity of real-world power dynamics. The reality in Barbie Land is a stark contrast, where Kens are relegated to second-class citizens, primarily serving as decorative elements for Barbie. However, Ken's journey to the real world opens his eyes to the possibility of breaking free from these predefined roles and contributing to society in more meaningful ways than merely being decorative.
There you are.
Oh no.
That went terrible. I need to find somewhere where I can start patriarchy fresh.
Yeah.
I know. I'll go back to Barbie Land and I'll tell the Kens what I've learned. Oh, it's going to be beautiful.
Okay.
Back to Barbie
Let's
Land.
go.
Back to Barbie Land. I'm gonna be sick. Everything, basically everything, exists to expand and elevate the presence of men. That's amazing. It's beautiful. I know.
Through a hero's journey, Ken's return brings deliverance to all the inhabitants of Barbie Land. The Barbies find happiness and fulfillment, while the Kens discover their purpose and destiny, resulting in an overall sense of peace and harmony.
Because Barbie Land, it's now Ken Land. And it's gonna be just like Century City in Los Angeles because they had it all figured out in Century City. The minute you get out of your car, you're like, I can't believe how great this place is!
No. They don't have it figured out in Century City because we failed them.
No, you failed me! Out there, I was somebody. And when I walked down the street, people respected me just for who I am.
In this context, Barbie's initial feminism in Barbie Land seems to fall short, as it fails to establish equality between the Barbies and the Kens, because it was never about equality for feminism in the first place. It's always been about supremacy. Ken's approach is to present the benefits of a different social structure, which the Barbies accept willingly and without conflict. The result is a harmonious coexistence, with Barbies happily serving the Kens, and in return they all experience relief from their daily tasks.
So much better than being president.
I like not having to make any decisions. It's like a spa day for my brain. Forever.
What is wrong with them?
We just explained to them the immaculate, impeccable, seamless garment of logic that is patriarchy, and they crumbled.
This is pure gold. Research indicates that modern women are facing higher levels of stress compared to previous eras, with women in the 1950s reported to be happier than modern women. The data reveals that women are experiencing work-related stress at a rate 50% higher than men of the same age group. Janice, read.
Among the younger population, 18 to 29-year-olds, nearly half, 48%, expressed feelings of being drained, compared to 40% of those aged 30 and above. Women, 46%, also reported higher levels of burnout compared to men, 37%.
In this context, Ken's version of Barbie Land appears as a solution to alleviate stress and pressure for the Barbies. That's why this choice by the Barbies to serve the Kens aligns with a preference for an easier path with less stress. It's worth noting that modern feminism does not fully address this aspect of the quote-unquote having it all or quote-unquote do it all experience and the benefits of patriarchy, which impacts the credibility of their message and the quality of the movie. Check this out.
And Gerda Lerner goes through this. Very powerful stuff. Let's begin with our first quote. Very interesting idea already. Gerda Lerner talks about how what feminism really is about, or what feminist theory should focus more on, is not this idea of women as the oppressed, because there's a lot of women who actually benefit from the institution of patriarchy. So listen to this. Women, more than any other group, have collaborated in their own subordination through their acceptance of the sex-gender system. They have internalized the values that subordinate them to such an extent that they voluntarily pass them on to their children. Some women have been oppressed, quotations, oppressed, in one aspect of their lives by fathers or husbands, while they themselves have held power over other women and men. Such complexities become invisible when the term oppression is used to describe the condition of women as a group. The use of the phrase subordination of women instead of the word oppression has distinct advantages. Subordination does not have the connotation of evil intent on the part of the dominant. It allows for the possibility of collusion between him and the subordinate. It includes the possibility of voluntary acceptance of subordinate status in exchange for protection and privilege, a condition which characterizes so much of the historical experience of women. So that's very important to understand as we talk about this feminist theory and this idea of patriarchy as a creation. Women throughout history have voluntarily bought into that concept of patriarchy as natural or innate, and have voluntarily subordinated themselves or put themselves in a subordinate role so they can reap other kinds of benefits, the types of benefits that patriarchy allocates, like economic privilege, like certain kinds of protections. We're just trying to get to the truth We're trying to really understand the true nature of what's going on. And when we study feminism and we look at women as the oppressed, that's really not a truthful examination of what is actually going on.
Shout out to the Black Ponderer for this clip. He read the book just like Ken did. This is another confirmation why these women are getting schooled on these podcasts and look foolish for dumping their boyfriends for not liking this movie, because they don't read, they don't do proper research, and drink that feel-good Kool-Aid they are served in college and movies like this. They lack education on why men rule the world. Ken conducting research for less than 1 day and already influencing Barbie Land to the extent that the Barbies voluntarily become subordinate to the Kens only strengthens the case for him being the hero of this movie. Check this out.
It's boys' night!
Boys' night includes girls. Girls' night does not include boys.
Every night. Forever.
Every night.
Forever and ever. Good night.
In Kenland, the women are not superfluous, at least not excluded from their homes. As I said before, the movie lacks a distinct plot and a clear message. That's why the way the Barbies get the control back is absolutely ridiculous.
Distract them by appearing helpless and confused. Kens cannot resist a damsel in distress.
You have to make them believe that you're complacent, that they have the power. And when their guard is down, you take the power back.
What if this doesn't work? What if he doesn't like me anymore?
He likes you.
He was really upset.
Because he likes you. And because he knows deep down that you don't like him the same way.
It still doesn't mean I want to hurt him.
He took your house. He brainwashed your friends. He wants to control the government.
True.
Girl.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
It's like I'm a woman already.
Welcome.
How do the Barbies regain control in Barbie Land? They don't engage in debates or logical arguments. Peaceful protests and demonstrations are not their choice. They do not rely on their tremendous strength and intelligence. No. Instead, they take an unconventional route. The Barbies discover their power in a strategy that might surprise you. They choose seduction and manipulation to create division among the Kens. It's a story of deception. This makes an even stronger case for Ken being the hero of the movie, and why you should be happy if your girlfriend dumped you for not liking this movie. She just did you a favor. The manipulation of the Barbies leads the Kens into internal conflict. Eventually, the Barbies stage a coup, driving the Kens from their position of power. What remains is a profound message. You can just be Ken. The foolishness.
Maybe it's Barbie and it's Ken.
Oh. Please may the Kens have one Supreme Court justice.
Oh, I can't do that. But maybe a lower circuit court judgeship.
We accept, as long as we can wear robes.
Well, the Kens have to start somewhere. And one day, the Kens will have as much power and influence in Barbie Land as women have in the real world.
No, I don't want to. Just go. I can't.
The Barbies never had any interest in giving the Kens any kind of power. Supremacy it is. Even though the feminist narrative takes a huge L with this Barbie movie, the Barbie movie does exactly what feminism was made to do. Separation between men and women. People who are divided are easier to control. The feminist narrative goes against everything that creates unity and does everything to create confusion. That's why the target is Eve, the perfect agent of chaos. That's why Barbie doesn't stay in the perfect utopia Barbie Land. No, she goes to the real world to get a vagina. You can't make this stuff up. In conclusion, this video has delved into the remarkable transformation that takes place in Barbie Land, all thanks to Ken. His journey symbolizes change, progress, and the quest for equality in this miniature world. For those who have watched the movie, you may have noticed that we didn't delve into the details or show clips of how the Barbies manipulate the Kens. We are reserving that intriguing part for the upcoming third installment because this song deserves a full breakdown.
We just might feel good. I wanna push you around. Well, I will.
We made this channel for men. That's why we started this channel. Not because we hate women. It's because men's voices need to be heard and men need to be educated on the foolishness that's going on so they can protect themselves at all times. The channel is called Manosphere Highlights Daily. We highlight men's issues, female nature, and the effects of society on human behavior. We encourage you to become the best man that you can be. But if you want to know how to do push-ups, then you have to go to the push-ups channel. If you want to know about money, you have to go to the money channel. I've said it many times on this channel that I took my talents overseas. I had to look for content that could help me with that. So I watched a combination of channels. Push-up channels, money channels, travel channels, language channels, and manosphere channels. Everything that I had to do to become the best version of myself. You can do anything if you put your mind to it. You know why? Because we men, ain't we? We men, ain't we? Patreon supporters, salute! Manosphere, we working. Protect yourself at all times. This video has officially been highlighted.